The master class is something that's brand new. We've never done this before. I have, over the years, I've grown up with and worked with some amazing friends and some people that have gone professional, and I'm like extremely grateful that we're gonna start a series of these, and I'm excited that they're gonna. Today's class is gonna be about learning pretty much the basics of like acting. So it's gonna be a lot of monologue work today. So that's gonna happen today, and who better to kind of kick off our series than an actor that I've known since he was 13 years old. I was in a show with him before, Mason Reeves. I was in a show with him before, and then I directed him in a show about a year after that, and then we remained friends and like family. And he's went on to graduate from the University of Michigan, and he is his first official job out of college is Frozen, the Broadway musical. So he had a little bit of time en route to the next city, and he was graciously kind and humble enough to come and help us out and kind of give some training to some of the kids that here at Centerstage.
Okay.
He actually sent the monologues ahead of time, so they had to choose one. About 8 to 10.
All right,
A master class is small. It's supposed to, it's gonna last 4 hours, and it's supposed to give some, detailed concentration to each one.
Yes. I met Mitchell in 8th grade, which was, I guess, like 12 years ago now. I'm 24 now, so I think I was probably 12 in 8th grade. And we were doing a production of Raisin in the Sun at a theater in Arizona. And he was, what was the name of your character? George, and I was Travis, which is the son in the show. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mitchell is an old family friend, and he directed me in a production of Aristocats the year after that. And Mitchell and a lot of the people in that production of Raisin in the Sun are most of the reason why I decided to perform and why I still do. I think my mom ran a community theater when I was growing up, and I used to not like it very much. And then I met a whole bunch of people that were super inclusive and super inviting. And I discovered that acting is really about learning about other people, learning about yourself, and learning how to create those other people and understand why people do the things that they do, which I just found to be so interesting. And so I didn't have the greatest voice going into college, and I didn't have any dance training, but what I did know how to do was understand a performer, and then understand how to convey that person that I'm being through song. And so I used that, and then once I got to college, I used that as a place to hone all those technical skills of dancing and singing and getting a really solid acting technique down. I actually don't. I booked Frozen right after my college years, I booked it after my junior year of college, so I finished college online. And then I've been on tour. We started before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, shut everything down, and I actually lived in LA for a while. And now I've been on tour for the past 8 months, and I think I'm gonna move back to LA, so hopefully you'll see me on some TV shows and movies or something. So yeah, I mean, I love it all. I love musical theater too, and so it's gonna be whatever it is. I just think the lifestyle in LA is better for me than New York. I'm not a big city person. I'm hoping that they learn to trust themselves a little bit. I think the biggest thing that was in the way of me and getting to where I am now, and I still have a long way to go, hopefully, but was just learning to trust that the things that I want to do and the way that I want to be are okay, and I don't have to try to shape myself to be what I think other people want, and that instead they're gonna embrace me for the person that I am. And so I think that's like the hardest thing to learn too, because as a young actor, you just want to do what the director wants, you want to do what people are telling you, and hopefully they will get to explore what they want for themselves today. What's interesting about doing a long-running tour is you are doing the same thing. Like any long-running show, you do it 8 shows a week, every week, with 1 day off. And so I think I definitely learned how to maintain physically what I have to do, the amount of sleep I need, the eating, the stretching, the exercising. But beyond that, I also learned how to maintain really healthy boundaries in a professional setting with people. I think it's so hard on tour because you don't have any other friends, you don't have anybody other than the company, and so you have to figure out how to be a supportive member of your company and also protect yourself in the way that you want. And so I think that was the most important lesson. And then theatrically, the other actors that I was with in the show are incredible. And so I just got to watch them every night, and got to watch my dear friend F. Michael Haney, who plays Olaf, and there was Anna Caroline Innerbichler and Caroline Bowman and Austin Colby they all play the other principals, and they all showed me how to be a leader within the company, and then also showed me the ways to make musical theater really work, make comedy work, what makes an audience laugh and what ruins the laugh, or where can you throw a little bit of extra eye contact at somebody so that the audience sees what's happening, and all those important sorts of things. I watched it in a high school when it first came out, and then I actually didn't watch it, and I still didn't watch it even after I booked the show. I was just like, I don't know, I'll figure it out when I get there. And the musical is different. There are 12 new songs, so it's a completely different thing. Yeah. That I had to send in a self-tape, so I had to film myself. It was just one scene. It was one scene, and then I had to do Christoph's big, dramatic, emotional number at the end of the show. So I had to do those two. And I sent that in from University of Michigan, and then I flew to New York and did a full callback day, and then ended up getting cast the next day, which was pretty great. No. It's I was very fortunate, and especially not that quickly. I think they had been looking for Christoph for a while and were struggling to find somebody, and so I happened to show up and be exactly what they wanted. And I had just gotten cast in a production of Footloose at the Muni in St. Louis, and Telsey, that the casting office, cast that, and then also cast Frozen, and so they found me from that, and then we're like, let's just have him come here too, and so I went into that and ended up getting cast in the show, and it was just crazy.
Very cool.
Okay, hi everyone, what's up? I'm Mason. Like Mitchell said, I've known him for a long time. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a weirdo, so we're just gonna have fun today. I think my end goal for everybody today, I've worked with Jeremiah before, but I've never gotten to work with him in person. I've actually never gotten to teach in person. I started teaching over the pandemic and was always doing everything over Zoom, and so it's so exciting to actually have a group of people here. So we're gonna mess around. I hope you guys are ready to get a little funky, and then we're gonna help memorize the monologues, doing some work together on building what the monologue's about and why we're talking, why we're saying what we're saying, and hopefully that'll help everybody really solidify things, because for me, I struggle to memorize things unless I break it down piece by piece. And so we're gonna go over some techniques to do that together. And this is all just a super comfortable space. This is 4 hours of our time, and so I would love it to be fun and enjoyable, and for all of us to get to feel as much ourselves as possible. And I think that's the most important thing as an actor, is to get to feel like yourself and to get to have a good time. You look like you're at a funeral. You're like, oh man. I look like you look so scared right now. Don't worry, it's all good. All this stuff, we're all gonna have fun. Monologues, who cares? There's no good or bad in here. There's just growth and having fun. All right. So to get that started, the first thing that we're gonna do is a little icebreaker game. And for that, I'm gonna need Mitchell. Actually, I'm gonna use you as a guinea pig with me. So this is what we're about to do. Is called, I just call it sort of ABC, but it's not necessarily that. So what we're gonna say, Mitchell and I can only say the phrase, let's just say good morning to each other. All that we can say is good morning. And then I'm gonna have a specific objective that I need to achieve, and Mitchell's gonna have a specific objective that he's gonna need to achieve. And I am going to use these socks for the first example here, just so you all can get an idea of what's happening. And let's say for this example, Mitchell, normally you two will not know what each other's motivations are, and actually I'm gonna whisper in Mitchell's ear what he has to do, and I'm gonna know what I have to do, and I'm not gonna tell him. So, okay. And what I'm going to be doing is whatever I want to do, and you'll see, and we'll follow it, and then we will all, when you guys have your turns, you will get to do your own things. You'll have different objectives and different things to do, and this will just be a little fun for you to see, and you get to see Mitchell. How about to ruin Mitchell's life real quick here? Okay. Nothing is off limits in this game. It is just about achieving your objective, okay? That's the most important thing, is getting what you need to have done, okay? Okay, let me just get these last ones out. And okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, good morning.
Good. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, all right. I was just trying to make Mitchell smile. Mitchell had to ball the socks up, and I just took them and ran away. So, anybody, you guys sort of understand what the idea of the thing is, right? Okay, great. So you all have different ones. Who wants to go first? You and you all. And go. What are you doing?
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 What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Pretty straightforward. Okay, ready? And go. Oh, oh my goodness. Your phrase is whatever you want it to be. Just kidding. Your phrase will be, you're mean to me.
It should be yeah.
You're mean to me.
Yes.
You're mean to me.
You're mean to me.
You're mean to
You're
me.
mean to me.
You're mean to me.
You're mean to me.
You're mean to me.
You're mean to
You're
me.
mean to me.
You're 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 mean to me.
Don't open that little box one more crack. Don't ask me to marry you. I can't let you do this to me. I mean, before I met you, I used to be such a jerk. No one actually liked me. Those people I introduced to you as my friends, they're not my friends. They're scared of me. Or they used to be before I met you. Before you, I never used to say please or thank you at restaurants. And I never used to laugh at anybody else's jokes but mine. But since I met you, I've begun to feel all warm inside, fuzzy. I've had these thoughts, these urges to donate to charities or help out at a soup kitchen or hug people. Can't you see what you're doing to me? Wait, sorry.
You're fine.
Oh, I even bought one of my so-called friends a present at full price. And it was something I knew she'd like. Can't you see what you're doing to me? You've made me nice. And what I'm really scared of is that you'll open that little box and ask me to marry you. And I'll politely say yes. And then I'll be nice for life. And then one day, years from now, I'll wake up with the horrible realization that I've lived a good life. I'm a jerk, and I wanted to stay that way. Please, stop.
Why is it your school?
Oh, no, my bad.
You're fine. You can read it too. If you don't, this is not a performance. You can read it if you need.
Okay.
Still give it your all, but you know what I mean.
I got you.
Why is it your school? Why am I always wrong? Why do I have to listen to you And you never say anything. Because I'm young? All my life I've been young.
Just go ahead and read it and perform it. It's okay. You want this one so you don't, so it's just a fresh one?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Just so you know, this is I know you just got these monologues, so we're gonna be memorizing them over time today. This is just the first pass, so.